in the faith, he says, examine yourself. Look what he says. Look what he says. He says, prove your own self. Look at your neighbor and tell your neighbor, I hope you're real. Yeah, I hope you're real. I hope you're real. One thing about me, y'all, like fake folk, y'all. I'm serious, y'all. I don't like fake people. I wish I had my 7 people in this house. I like real Christians. I like folk that been through storm in the rain. I like people that seem like their back was up against the wall and it looked like no way out. Because that means they're not worried about status quo. They're not too bougie to shout to the Lord. But I wish I had some people in here who have some real problems in their life. That they know that when they came to Jesus, just as they were. Oh God, you know without a shadow of doubt, if it had not been for God on your side, I wish I had some real people in here that understand you should have been dead, sleeping in your grave. But God made old death behave. Oh, I wish I had some witnesses in this place. Look at your neighbor, tell your neighbor, check yourself, check yourself, check yourself. You better check yourself.
All right. Tell it.
Look here. Look here, look here, look here, look here. He says, I'm almost done. He says, prove yourself. Prove, watch this. What does prove mean? Prove to show that you are acceptable.
Come on, watch it.
Oh, God.
Come on, man.
Can I help the church out today? The problem we are really discovering today that we haven't yet found out what is so true is that the stuff you fighting today is not a concern to God in heaven. Because our problem is that we fight too many earthly battles.
All right.
That would not give an account to where we're trying to go.
Amen.
And God wants to know what you're doing. Have you realized that He is not accepted yet? Yeah. So that's the reason why Paul here says, prove yourself. If they're lying on you, prove that you will say who you are. And don't lie back on them, but just give them a hug, baby, and tell them, thank you for lying on me.
All right.
Oh, God, I wish I had somebody in this place that was ready for the stuff that God has in store for them in 2016. That if you never hear any word that I say, I'm trying to encourage somebody in here to check yourself so that you can look at your hater Monday morning at work and say, baby, thank you. Thank you for talking about me. Thank you for, y'all ain't saying nothing up in here. I wish somebody could go to a family member and say thank you, because if it had not been for you, my child wouldn't have gotten new clothes this week. If it had not been for you lying on me, I probably would have never gotten a promotion on my job. Can somebody just shout in the atmosphere, thank you, thank you, thank you,
thank you. Yes.
Bishop, what are you trying to do? Lord, I'm just trying to get the people to prove themselves.
All right, come on.
I'm trying to get them to prove themselves that when they leave out of here, their walk with you is not in vain.
All right.
Look at somebody and tell them, I got to check myself. I got to check myself. Look, watch this, watch this, watch this. He says, if you are in this 3rd month of this year, ladies and gentlemen, like a pregnant woman, your body is getting ready to go through changes.
All right.
We're talking about the examination now. Because I know somebody has been wondering, Bishop, how do I check myself? Well, y'all know, you know women, you know, men don't know, but women know. You know that your body's getting ready to change. And so as the body changes, you got to adapt to what you're carrying. And this is for the whole house right now. I want to tell somebody that in this 3rd month of this year, God didn't just send you here to Mississippi on accident, but He sent you here to hear this word today. And that is, you have to adapt to what you're carrying.
All right.
Because what you're carrying has been trying to block you from where you've been trying to go back to. And you got to be real within yourself and say, you know what? I got to adapt to this thing that's inside of me, because my mind is telling me to do it. But this thing that's inside of me has been telling me to not do it. So what that means is I got to start adapting to this thing. And me and my spirit has to line up. Because if me and my spirit can both line up, then that means that what I'm carrying, God is going to show forth what he has in store for me. Look at your neighbor and tell your neighbor it's time for you to start adapting. Yeah, it's time for you to start adapting. Because there's something inside of somebody in here that wants to break out and shout for the Lord. But your mind has been telling you this ain't your church. Don't do nothing like that. You know folk gonna talk about you if you wave your hand right now. You know people gonna look at you crazy if you shout right now. But I've come to tell somebody you're in the 3rd month, baby. And if you really want to know what God has placed in you, I dare you to adapt to what God has placed in you. If you feel like a shout right now, you ought to just open your mouth. If you feel like waving your hand right now, you ought to just wave your hand. Look at your neighbor and tell your neighbor, I hope you're listening right now, because God has told me to tell somebody in here, it's time for you to adapt to what you've been carrying. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen. One of the strangest things that goes in the 3rd month for a pregnant woman is that they begin to go through what is called morning sickness. God, I wish I had some pregnant women in the house who's ever been there before. And when you go through morning sickness, it causes a whole lot of distractions in your day. I've come to tell somebody in here who's in the 3rd month of this year, and you've been hearing God speak some things into your life. I've come to tell somebody in here that you will know that God has placed something in you if everything around you is starting to make you sick. God, I wish I had somebody in here who knew what I was talking about. I wish somebody could take a flashback and say, Bishop, you're right about it. Because when I look back over my life, that stuff makes me sick now. When I look at foolishness on social media, I ain't got time to like that stuff. That stuff make me sick now. When I hear family members talking about each other, I don't try to get nobody's opinion. That stuff make me sick now. When I look at church folk talking about each other, that stuff makes me sick. You'll know if you're carrying something. If you're going through morning sickness on a Sunday morning. Ooh, I can tell somebody here don't get morning sickness on Sundays. Bishop, how do I know I have morning sickness on Sundays?
Come on, tell it.
When you're sick,
Well,
because you didn't go to church.
All right.
I know for some of you that don't mean nothing because your best sleep is on Sundays.